Hello YouTube, Connor Comics here, and today I'm going to be doing some recommendations of some comics for people new into comics. So here I've got my Marvel pile. Hopefully you can see, sorry. And then my DC pile. Now I don't have any of the sort of usual where it's like the big Batman titles, the big Superman titles, because one of the Superman titles that I read, which was All-Star Superman, I mean it was alright, but it was nothing amazing in my opinion. I think it's because I'm not really a fan of Superman, and people said, oh, if you read that book that will make you a fan of Superman. It didn't really work, I mean, but I think I'll do that in another video and explain the reasons why I didn't think All-Star Superman was as good as everybody made it out to be. But first of all, I'm going to start with my Marvel pile. Now, first of all, I have 3 single issues, 2 of series that are, one has stopped and one is still going. We're going to start out, that was a mini series which you can collect in trade or graphic novel form, whatever you want to call it, but it is Return of the Living Deadpool. Now this is by Bun. He also worked on Venom for a bit, and I know he's done like a load of Deadpool titles, but this was one that I picked up. 4 issues, and it was a fun read. Usual Deadpool being Deadpool, fun read. I would recommend it. Next, Amazing Spider-Man in the Marvel Now. Now throughout this run, it's by Slott. It had Original Sin, and the Original Sin was pretty meh. But then you get other small stories, and then you get the Spider-Verse. I really enjoyed the Spider-Verse event. Some things I thought was stupid, but overall a really interesting event. But it was stopped because of the whole Secret Wars thing. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. And another recommendation, because I know the movie's coming out, is it this month? I think it's this year in December or next year in December. I can't quite remember. But that would be Star Wars by Jason Aaron. This has, I think it's on its 8th issue. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's on. I don't know when it's going to be collected in trade. I don't think it has been collected in trade, but this follows the original cast, as you can see. Like, let me try and get it. Luke, Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, Han Solo, and Chewbacca, and you also have Darth Vader, as you can see by like the outline in the background. I'm not even sure if you're able to see this, but I'm doing it anyway. So yeah, Star Wars by Jason Aaron. Now, yeah, this was done pretty recently. I can't actually remember when it actually came out, but yeah. Next, this is the oldest one I think I have here. Yep, and that is Daredevil by Frank Miller. Now I've only got volume 1. Next week when I go into my comic book store, I'll pick up volume 2. But there's 3 volumes of this. I've read the first volume and it was amazing. I still have to pick up number 2 and number 3. But this was when Frank Miller was writing from 1979 to 1983. So yeah, he started out doing the art for this. And then he switched to the writing. I'll just get you an example of the art. Now it's the old it's like the classic art. I would say old, but I think also it's fun, that's an insult. But yeah, the classical art, let me see, what's a good page? Where's a good page? Oh no, I'll just show a random page, but it's sort of classic art sort of thing. Yeah, if you've watched the show and you want to get into it, this is an older one, but it has like a load of the old characters, like, no, I mean not the old characters, but Daredevil characters like Kingpin, Bullseye, Elektra, Foggy Nelson. It has other characters like Black Widow, Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus, and more introduced later on, but I haven't read it, so yeah. Next is Daredevil Man Without Fear by Frank Miller as well. Now this is just a 5-minute mini 5-issue series, and this sort of goes through his origin. This is what this show is based off. So you have him saving the old man's life, so then he gets the radioactive thing in his eye, battling Jack. You have the Kingpin, Elektra, him growing up and his father telling him that he needs to do well in school, how we got the nickname Daredevil, and what else? Kingpin, yeah, like I said, Kingpin and his black ninja costume, which you can see in this show. Let me get you, now there's a good picture of the Kingpin. So that's like an example of the art. The art is done by Ramita Jr. There is a review on my channel, so you will see more art and my views on this. Great comic. Next, a modern Daredevil book. I know the last few have been Daredevil, there's no more Daredevil after this. But a modern one, Daredevil by Mark Waid. Now this is the first 6, there's 7 volumes, and then 3 I'm pretty sure in the Marvel Now. So yeah, great sort of modern, has like sort of 3 different stories in it. You have Captain America, fight with Captain America, great, I want to pick up more, and yeah, Daredevil by Mark Waid. Next, Spider-Man. Now this is Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man. This is like number 1, but behind me here I have up to 6, or all of them here. You might not be able to see it that well, but yeah, just take my word for it. But yeah, this is where Dr. Octopus is inside Spider-Man's body, because of some, it sort of explains it in the beginning much better than I would be able to explain it. No, here's a good explanation. Otto Octavius, the villain known as Dr. Octopus, was dying. In order to cheat death, he used his skills as a mad scientist to swap minds with the greatest enemy, Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man. However, the transfer gave Octavius more than just Spider-Man's great power. It gave Spider-Man's experiences, as well as including the lesson of great responsibility. Now he's beginning his life as a hero, sort of thing. Let me try and get you a good thing of the art. There's a good one. There's Spider-Man with Mary Jane and Ghost sort of thing in the background. Next, Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 by Brian Michael Bendis. Now this is Cyclops making his own, making his own team. This is issues 1 to 5. I haven't carried on reading it, just I've been wanting to try other books in between and I just haven't really gone back to it, but I really want to go back to this. But yeah, Volume 1. Now the art was something that I wasn't really sure about, but when I kept getting through it, it started to grow on me. There's a good shot of a page, even though it has the Avengers on it. It's like, there's a good page. They go up against the Avengers, which is a really cool battle. So yeah, Uncanny X-Men. Then you have another Uncanny book, but Uncanny Avengers. Now I've got this in hardcover because I got it for cheap, so it's a bit mucky, like on the page that's just white, but other than that it's fine. So yeah, this is 1 to 5. It's after the events of Avengers vs X-Men. It's got the Red Skull on, and it's got a lot of people. I'll tell you the people actually it has. There's like a page of it, I'm pretty sure. There. Don't know if you'll be able to see it well, but it has Captain America, Havoc, Thor, Wolverine, Scarlet Witch, Rogue, Wasp, Sunfire, and Wonder Man. So yeah, great Avengers book, and let's move on to the final Marvel one. And finally, Ultimate Comics Captain America. Now this is by Jason Aaron, the same Jason Aaron which, if you remember back, wrote this, the new one, the new Star Wars. So yeah, this is only issues 1 to 4, but a great read nonetheless. Goes up against another esque Captain America. Wow, that's dead on the third, I think. But yeah, that's an example of the art. Great read as well. There's like another Captain America which was made for the Vietnam War, and yeah, so they're showing off their different odds and how they feel and that sort of thing. So yeah, great read. Ultimate Comics Captain America. Now I don't know how good it goes on later on. All I know is that Volume 1 was a great read. Aquaman in the New 52. Now the first 3 volumes were great. Now I didn't carry on reading, but I've heard bad things about after. But the first 3 volumes are great. There's a good example of the art. So yeah, volumes 1, 2 and 3 of this are great. The art is great. The writing by Jeff Johns, who you would know if you had been reading DC, is a great DC writer and writes some amazing stuff. So yeah, Aquaman. Next, Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Now this was, again, New 52. Most of these will be New 52, but yeah, this is volume 1. I have up until volume 4. Others throughout the series, you have this, which is the Court of Owls and the City of Owls. You then go into Death of the Family, and then 0 Year. Then I think there's like where it's like random stories, and then you get into Endgame, and then that leads into the new DCU, I think it's called. I'm not quite sure thing, but yeah, great thing. This collects the first 7 issues. So yeah, Batman: The Court of Owls. Next, The Flash. Now if you've been enjoying the show, this is why I picked this up, and great read, collects the first 8 issues, so you're getting a lot in here. Now this is by, sorry, as you can see there the names, Francis Manipool and Brian Muccicelli. I can't read names, but yeah, great read, great story. It sort of involves, it has the Speed Force in it as well, the town, there's a good shot. Now the art in this is great, story writing is great, just overall. Great comic. Now I have up until number 2, I want to collect them all, but just money. Next, if you wanted to get into Green Arrow, here is an origin story for him. Green Arrow Year 1, now on the back it says isolated, beaten, hunger, revengeful. This is his time on the island. It's a tiny bit different from how it was done in the show, but still a great read. The art is great, the story writing is great. As the writer on this, which worked on Why the Last Man, I've heard great things about the Why the Last Man, but just haven't picked it up. So, yeah. Oh no, wait, no. The person who worked on Why the Last Man did an intro, but the writer worked on Batman and Adam Strange, and the artist worked on Swamp Thing and Hellblazer. Sorry about that. Read it wrong, but yeah. Green Arrow Year 1 by Andy Deagle and Jacques. Just Jacques. Next, Green Lantern in the New 52, Volume 1, Sinestro. I have up to volume 3, I'm just not sure if I want to carry on. So it's one of those things where Jeff Johns finishes his run, because he was doing it pre-New 52, but I only have 3 volumes of that. And I would recommend Green Lantern Rebirth, but I think if you're just trying to get into comics, I wouldn't recommend it because it can be a bit confusing, and I gave it to one of my friends and it made him not like the character because of how confusing it was. But this, great read. It has Sinestro becoming a Green Lantern again, because if you don't know Green Lantern, he set up the Sinestro Corp and he's back, and so he's going around with, let me find a good shot. There's a good page of them going up against one of the Sinestro Corps, or the Yellow Corps monsters, and there's Sinestro and Hal Jordan. So yeah, the art is great and really interesting. So yeah, Green Lantern. Next, another Jeff Johns book, which is Justice League Volume 1. Now this collects the first, how many issues? I think doesn't actually say. Huh. But yeah, this has some really cool things in it. It has them going up against Darkseid. They're all coming together. The origin of what's his name, Cyborg in the New 52, and yeah, let me get a good shot. All of the art in this, because it's done by Jim Lee. Ooh. Oh, no, that's a. Where is it? I want to get a good shot for you. There's a good shot of Wonder Woman going up against Darkseid. So yeah, another great book by Jeff Johns. Great, I've read up till number 3, and even through this they have a book, he writes a book named Forever Evil, and I've heard great things about that, so yeah. And then finally, big chunky one, which is Superman Unchained. Now this is by Scott Snyder and Jim Lee. Jim Lee from Justice League and Scott Snyder from Batman. Now they introduced a new character. What's his name again? I haven't read this book for a while, but the art in this is just fantastic. They have this wide shot of Superman taking out base, and it's freaking huge, and you can see this tiny Superman somewhere in there. If you can see the page pretty good, then you can try and find it. But yeah, Jim Lee is just such a great artist, and there's another great shot. So yeah, now I think this has like something like 10 issues and 11 including like script notes, or like a black and white version of it. But yeah, I actually preferred this over All-Star Superman. That's just me. Some people might not agree with me, but I think I gave this a 10 out of 10. And All-Star Superman, I gave it a 7. But yeah, great Superman read. This actually got me into Superman. So yeah. So yeah, tell me if there's any recommendations. I know somebody gave me a recommendation for the Daredevil book that I showed by Mark Waid. If you have any others, maybe New 52, Marvel Now, or Pre. I know I need to get a load of the Daredevil books, and Superman, Red Sun I know, and a load of Batman books. God, a load of Batman books. So yeah, tell me if any of these if you picked up any of these because of my recommendations. And yeah, see you in another video. Goodbye.